Hello, it's Coy, and welcome to the Eclectic Cottage. Thank you all for joining me today and for being here as we continue our little journey, July journey on Christmas in July Latin style. We've been working on, we worked on these on the last video, the one before that. There's a few things in the journal that could maybe use some glitzing up. So I thought we would pull out some glitter today and just see how we like. I mean, some things won't get glitter like this, but some things that are Christmassy, maybe we'll put a little bit of glitter on just to see how we like it. I've never honestly used a lot of glitter in any of my journals before, but I just feel like some of this, you know, calls for a little bit extra glitz and glam. And if we like it on the ones we do today, maybe we can continue it throughout the month as we're working on other Christmassy layouts. So I thought I would start with these. I do want to add some ribbon or something. Maybe how about this? How will this do? I want to add a little something to, you know, for a topper. Let me just see what this is like. Even if I have to cut it in half. Or use more than one layer. How about that? How do I want to do this? Let's try it like this. Okay. This might work. Cute. Okay, and that'll give us a little topper for our card. I like that. Let's do it for all three of them. One for each signature. If I add the other two signatures, which I can't imagine that won't happen. If I add the other, the other two signatures, they'll go in between these three signatures and they won't be as similar in nature as each other as these are. All right, cute. Maybe this could be a little shorter. Cute, right? Okay. Let's make this the same size. And this is just the Robert Stanley collection, 60 feet. It says Hobby Lobby, so this probably came from Hobby Lobby. I did not purchase it at Hobby Lobby. I got it in with a bunch of ribbon from a garage sale last year. and paid nearly nothing for it, to be honest with you. I don't know. Let's see if there's a price on here. I don't know how much this would cost. $6.99. I would never pay $7 for this. I am a thrifty crafter. And I don't know how long ago that was $7. I don't know if it's still $7 or if that was, years ago. This looks like, it wasn't bought yesterday. It could have been hanging around for a few years. I don't know how long Hobby Lobby's been in existence. Alexa, how long has Hobby Lobby been in existence?
This might answer your question. Hobby Lobby is 50 years old. It was founded on August 3rd, 1972.
Alexa, stop. Okay, 50 years old. Who knew? I had no idea Hobby Lobby was 50 years old. So that could have been bought any time within the last 50 years at the Hobby Lobby. Did any of you know that Hobby Lobby was 50 years old? You never have to wonder about anything anymore. Does anybody else use Alexa as much as I do? It's me, Chi-Chi, and Alexa here. Alexa, how old is Michael's Craft Store?
From frugalentrepreneur.com. The store has been in business since 1978 and is one of the largest and most popular craft stores in the Washington,
Alexa,
D.C.
stop. So 78, 98, 70, 80, 90. So it's 40 years old. Yeah, these stores have been around a while. For our crafting pleasure. Oh my gosh, we're getting old. When things are as old as us, and they're old. My birthday is tomorrow, so I'm kind of feeling it. Tomorrow, will start a whole new year for me. The kids are coming, my grandkids, my daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandchildren are coming tomorrow from Lafayette, Louisiana. They live about 2.5 hours away, and we're spending a day or two here. They'll be leaving Saturday morning, so they're not staying long. It's a quick visit, but at least it's a visit, and we'll be celebrating Grandma's birthday. My son and his partner at the shop, and my other daughter, Angie, she actually lives in Jacksonville. However, so that's where she's at right now. She does still work here in Leesville at the shop. Her and her brother own Revolution Ink and Art Gallery. So she's been working here, but living in Jacksonville, Florida, traveling back and forth. It's a 12-hour journey. But she is, as we speak, there. She just went back. She just left Sunday to go back and pack her house down. And she's moving back for a year or maybe 2 years. Moving back here. And selfishly speaking, I can't say that makes me sad. But, it's what's best for her. It's what's best for her business. And she has happened to create a new relationship with with someone special here. So it will, give that situation a chance to see if it, how far it's going to bloom. And it will be good for her business. They're, traveling back and forth, traveling 12 hours. She's been working here, she's been traveling back and forth between Jacksonville and Leesville a lot over the last year. And I'm not always happy to see her having to be on the road, keep that road so hot. You know, I'm not happy seeing her doing that much traveling. So I'll be glad to have her back. She just found a house that she's, you know, going to be renting, and she plans on staying probably, you know, for a year, up to 2 years before she makes another move. All right, so that's that part. And now let's see if we can glitter them up a little bit, how we like the glitter. I guess we're going to start on our... I can always reprint them if I don't like the glitter. I'm not necessarily a glittery person, but this is Christmas. If ever there is a time to use glitter, it would be now. Which one do we want to start with? Let's start with this little Christmas bird one. I'm going to use, this is just the top to the cookie tin that I keep some of my trims in. Art glitter glue will be a very good option for this process. This glitter has never been opened, so let's do that part now. Get it opened. I guess there's is a trick to this of some type. Well, it doesn't pop off as, oops, as easily as, what I don't want to do is make a mess out of this. They could do a better job at designing a cover for this big, gigantic container of glitter. Oh, I don't want glitter everywhere. Don't want to be picking it up forever. See how hard this is? This is not like, you know, in the kitchen trying to open up the bottle of cooking oil. This is really on there. They need to go back to the drawing board on how they package this container. And I'm hoping I didn't really destroy the option to open and close this thing. Oh gosh. I may have to find a whole new storage option for this glitter. All right, let me see how this goes. Does this even close all the way? Oh, barely. Okay. Let's say, oh no, there's going to be glitter for days. All right. You could maybe use a little bit here on the snow to make the snow glisten a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Little on the pine cones. wonder if I'm going to hate this. Put it down here. Sister, if you're watching, this is definitely not your beautiful iridescent glitter. It's just crystal. This is not Party Perfect glitter. But it's cute. Can we see it glittering? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but that's kind of cute without overdoing it. My sister's company is a party decorating company in South Florida. It's called Party Perfect. And glitter is a staple in life at Party Perfect. Everything we do for our whole life has always been covered in glitter. All right, let's set this aside to dry and move on to the next one. Do we want any glitter on our sign? Where would the glitter fall? Where would the snow be? Here? Here? Okay, I'm liking the snow. I'm liking the glitter. I wasn't sure I was going to, but I do. Okay, one. I don't know, she's pretty red hot. She looks like she's definitely in Mexico, and there is not a lot of snow in her winter. Maybe up here in the trim. Maybe around her trim on her dress. Her jewelry. All right, let's see how it goes. How about on our words? All right, let her dry. Okay, You guys have some snow. Let's put it on your dots up here. Let me close this before a tragedy happens. I think it would be quite tragic to have glitter all over the art room. All right, definitely on your dots. On your jingle bells. On your holly berries. Holly berry here, holly berry there. Here's a holly berry. There's a holly berry. Definitely on your snowflakes. On the words. Okay, let's see how this works. All right, wasn't sure that I was gonna like glitter, but I think I'm gonna be okay with it. I don't see any glue here. The glue we use at Party Perfect is so fine and so, it's almost powdered. And it's so iridescent, so strongly iridescent. It's the most beautiful glitter that I know of. And for some reason, I thought that that is what I had. I've had this for a couple of years. I just haven't ever used it. So I was thinking that that might be what I had, but it's not the same. But this is still pretty. It's more crystally than iridescent. And I'm okay with it. I was a little disappointed, I have to say. I was a little disappointed at first when we first opened it, but okay. Can you see it glitter and shine? All right. What else could use a little glitter? This Feliz Navidad. Oh, Navidad and Christmas in July. Yeah, let's put a little here in the poinsettia. Even though when I look at this, it looks like red hot Mexico. In July. Even though I know that poinsettias aren't really blooming in July. I think it's the yellow. I use a lot of yellow in my Mexican journals. It's not something you get to use all the time when we're doing junk journaling and, you know, doing a more shabby chic or Victorian or French laundry. I don't know what kind of themes do you normally go with in your junk journaling? Most of mine usually tend to be nature oriented. I use a lot of nature. I kind of go with sometimes with the theme that's going on at my son's tattoo shop. Like this spring, it was Earth Vibes. So I worked on Earth Vibes journals. Which is nature in earth tones, right? Earth tones with punches of color. For the flowers, yeah. I don't want to get too carried away with the glitter until I am sure that I like having it in the journal. It's going to have to be a little bit messy. It's glitter. How could it not be messy? No, I really wish I had Party Perfect glitter. It's not as chunky. It's like a fine powder. Okay. Is there anything else that requires some glittering up while we have the mess out in front of us? Because if we like this, we'll probably do this again someday, but we're not going to do it very often. We're going to do it today to see if we like it. This could probably use a little. Stick to all right, let's see how that pans out for us. I'll never know where to put these pages back at, but I guess that's okay. As long as I like where they end up. Could this use some? I don't like working on more than one page at a time. I don't know if I'm going to know where to put them back at. It may just take some all new configuring, which I guess is okay. Do we want a little here? This is not really a snow scene or anything. It was December when Christ was born. I wonder if it was snowing in Jerusalem. I never notice like the burrows covered in any pictures I see with the burrows covered in snow or anything. And I think that this was more like a peasant thing. I doubt she was really glitzed up with a lot of glitter on her, you know, adorned on her clothing or anything, but Alexa, how often does it snow in December in Jerusalem?
From weather25.com, on average, there are 0 snowy days in Jerusalem in December.
Zero snowy days in Jerusalem in December. So I'm adding snow. Where there was none. I really don't know. There might be mountain areas and stuff in Mexico where there's a lot of snow, but according to Alexa, with all the wisdom that she has, there's not very many snow. Alexa, how much snow do they get in Mexico City?
No snow is expected in Mexico City, Mexico today.
Alexa, how much snow do they get in December in Mexico City?
I only have weather information for the next 10 days.
Oh. Alexa, what's the average snowfall in Mexico?
Vernon Parish, Louisiana.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, what's the average snowfall in Mexico?
As a noun,
Alexa,
average
stop.
is
Alexa, stop. Alexa, how much is the average snowfall in Jerusalem?
According to another
Alexa,
Amazon
stop.
customer,
I'm going to quit.
18.4
Alexa, stop.
inches a year.
Alexa, stop. I quit. You have to be fast. You can't be thinking about your question. You have to just ask it, or she gives you an answer that's completely unrelated to what you're wondering. All right. I'm sorry about that. That is a bad habit. I'm going to try not to do it very often when we're filming, but I ask her questions. Anytime I wonder something, I just ask her. How about these toys on this radish salad? Macedonia Iris. Here I was thinking this girl right here was Iris, and she was from Macedonia, when all along it was the name of a recipe for a salad. I'm getting carried away, and I said I wouldn't. I'm kind of over glittering, I think. I'll see how it goes. All right. Definitely no glitter there. Here, could we use a little here? It is Christmas after all. Come on now. But now that we got this thing started, all right, let's see how we like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give the glue some time to dry, turn off the video, and once it's dry and I'm ready to put the pages back into the journal, I'll come back and show you how it turned out and say my goodbyes then. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, the glue has dried and I am back. I wanted to give you a quick look at how the glittering turned out. I was a little concerned that I was not going to be too crazy about it, but I don't feel like it's overdone. It's not something I would do in an everyday journal, but for this Christmas journal, I'm a little bit more than okay with it. I kind of like it. Look how pretty it is on there. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead. Oh, I especially like it. I especially like it on these little cards. These little cards are so cute. I like them so much. We're not finished with them. I still want to do a little bit more to them, but that's for another video. Let me go ahead and get my pages back in my book and sweep some of this glitter off of my desk. And we're going to call it a wrap. Thank you all for being here with me today, for keeping me company in the art room. And if you would, thank those of you that have taken time to, to keep showing up. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for leaving your comments. If you would take time just to leave a comment, even if it's just to say hello, even if it's just tell me where you're from. I know that Louise is Louise is from Scotland and she lives in England. And I talked to somebody the other day who lives in Australia. And everybody's from a different, from somewhere different. And that's what makes, hanging out together so much fun. If you have a YouTube channel, let me know how to find you, an Etsy store, that kind of thing. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I will see you real soon.